and welcome back to Cat's Chats, where we talk about whatever you want. I am Kat Rambo, your medicine woman, and I'm very excited to be sharing today on a new venue. These chats are always in the private Facebook group, so today they're going to be on YouTube. We're expanding into new media. So thanks to everyone who wrote in their recommendation that we explore this other media for our lives. Please let me know if you can hear me or if it's supposed to be landscape mode because it's YouTube. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does it sound good? Does it look good? What's happening? So today's vote was actually perfect and probably the one I least anticipated speaking on, which was the balance of intention and surrender. So this topic is super fun for me, especially. So I'll give you some personal stories along the way as well. But first, I would love to define these terms in a way that we know how we're going to be using them together. So first is surrender, balancing surrender and intention. So surrender is the process of letting go, right? This can be a scary thing. This can be an exciting thing. This can be a really wonderful moment in our lives. A lot of amazing things happen in the space of surrender when we just say, and let go and let the universe take over or whatever else may be happening at the moment. And allow ourselves to just slip into the flow of life and go with the flow, right? Intention is the opposite of that energy. That is the action energy. That's the having a purpose, having a desire, having a want of some kind, or taking an action, right? So these are two different types of energy that we're going to learn how to balance today with a very quick discussion on what that can look like. So first, I like to look at when we're balancing opposites, I don't see them as opposites. So first I would like to throw that out there. I see them as two sides of the same coin or two nodes in the end of the same pole, right? So there's a balance and the balance looks like this. We know this as an infinity symbol, right? Am I supposed to be in landscape mode? Someone tell me. I don't know. Can I see your comments below? I always go back and reply to comments anyway, but I like the live conversation. So I don't know if I can see your comments. Maybe I'll miss that about Facebook. I don't know how that works here. So um I look at it as a process step by step. Like we move through this like inward, outward, expansion, contraction type of motion of this infinity symbol that we can slide around to find that balance. Remember, balance is not about finding that center point and staying there. Balance is about comfortably oscillating in a way that maximizes the motion on either side of that center point, right? So sometimes balance looks like perfect stillness, right? But what is perfect stillness if not potential for motion, right? So it's important to remember that balance, sometimes when we're looking for balance, especially when I see those in my practice who are spiritually questing, they're looking for balance, this like single point, right? This moment where the oscillation stops. And it is wise in life. And as we mature, we tend to reduce the swinging pendulum of oscillation in our lives, of extremes mellow out. We talk about mellowing out as we get older. But sometimes that pendulum starts swinging at a higher frequency or at a higher amplitude again, like for example, during periods of crisis, like a midlife crisis, one of my favorite moments of life. And I surely invite you to have many of them. Why wait till your midlife? You never really know where your midlife point is anyway, so you might as well enjoy crisis whenever you like. It's been my pleasure to help my clients enjoy their life crises and even instigate them at times. So remember that balance isn't just about finding that center point. It's about making sure that you are learning what you need from each direction, each side of your oscillation, so that you can find what looks like balance for you at this given moment. And of course, it will change. So, step one is to just pause, right? And actually, if you saw my video on this channel about what's going on cosmically right now with the eclipses. We're in a perfect moment for pause, right? So pause, reflect, receive, look, observe. This is a really good time to check in with yourself, be patient, right? And just notice what's coming up for you. Notice if there's an intuition impulse. If there's maybe like a sign from outside, I'll do a whole video on like where your messages can come from and how to develop your intuition. I love this type of work with my clients. So this is a life hack, for life. Why would we not take advantage of that, right? So I love that. Intuition is something I felt like I really had to learn. So I love sharing it with others too, because it's a skill we can all learn. It's not something you have or don't have. Of course you have it. It's baked into our species. We didn't get by simply on being intelligent. I think YouTube will show us that that's true. So step 2 is to take an alignment, right? Take an alignment. So that can be an action, a small action or a large action, an internal action or an external action. Internal action looks like setting a resolve. It looks like making a decision. It looks like doing a visualization exercise, whatever it is that looks like, making an internal choice, right? And setting yourself an intention. External actions can look like behaviors, actions. So this is the flow between intention and surrender. So first, choose to just sit in your stillness and find out what your intuition is saying to you, and then step 2 is to take that aligned action, but then do take action. I think this is the part that's missing a lot in a lot of like manifestation work and things like this is taking action. God may open many doors for you, but it's up for you to walk through them. So if you don't make choices and take action, then it is less likely that things will come to you in your life. When you are taking aligned action, you'll find yourself moving towards your goals, of course. So that can be something very small or that can be very big. It doesn't have to be a massive action, although it can be. If you see the eclipse video, it is a good idea right now to just pick a direction and be in alignment and choose what your next move is going to be. And then on the next new moon to then start thinking about, during that solar eclipse, taking massive action, right? Because then we have good luck in that action energy. So that is oh, hi there. Oh, I can see the comments. Yay. Hello. That was my first live. This is super fun. So first live on YouTube. So remember that when we make decisions about what it is that we really want, it's equally important to choose how we want it, right? And who we want to be in it. Because then the next step after our patience and persistence is again surrender. So that's about course correction. That's about stopping, pausing, looking around, saying, okay, what's going on? What is my message here? Do I need to change direction, right? And so that is you're only going to hear that if you're asking yourself how you want things and who you want to be, because then you're not attached to a particular outcome. So that's how you can be in surrender. Oh, thanks, Brooklyn. That's how you can be in surrender and also in action. How can you be in action and surrender? I'll give you an example, and it's actually this video, which is really exciting. So remember that how is it that you can tell if you're not in the movement of surrender? How is it that you can tell you're just being impatient? Right? Because sometimes we need to take consistent aligned action, large or small, right? And internal and external and all of it in order to see an outcome. So sometimes that can look like and feel like resistance, right? Are we getting aggravated? Are lots of little problems coming up? Are we feeling like we're being tested, right? You look like Rapunzel. I've actually heard that before, funny enough. That was when my hair was really long ago. Maybe that was the alignment, right? Thank you. That's funny. I like that. So if you're feeling this resistance, which is this isn't working, something's not happening here, is it because you're swimming upriver? Is it because you're pushing, against something that's not really, it's trying to course correct you because you're attached to a specific outcome? Or is it because you need to have patience and persistence, because aligned action requires that as well? So, for example, when I started, let's just talk about this video, right? This is my first live on YouTube. Now, of course, I've done interviews and stuff and podcasts, and I love, love, love that. But this is the first time I'm going live by myself on YouTube. So I was given the suggestion because I decided I really want to share and give. I love teaching and I love giving and I love sharing. And I get asked a lot of questions by my clients, friends and family, and those around me. And even when I'm doing workshops and stuff like this. So ceremony retreats, whatever. So I love I love the questions. So I thought, well, I want to be in an environment where there's community and I can answer questions. I can give what's really wanted. How do I do that? So I was recommended, well, why don't you start a Facebook group? So I said, okay, well, let's do that, right? And then I wanted to make it private so everyone could feel safe to share, whatever was coming up for them and not feel like it was going to get all over all their private social or all their public social media. So I thought, well, that's cool. So now we have this cool private community going on, but then I got kind of nervous, right? Going live, that's a little bit unnerving. And as much as I love interviews, I'm kind of talking to myself. Well, actually, now that I see your comments, I'm talking to you, which is wonderful. I love that. Thank you for that. So I had to practice overcoming myself, and I said, okay, well, I love sharing and I love teaching, and I have no problem teaching a material, right? Whether it's how to interpret your dreams or herbalism or whatever, medicine work. But I did find it a little bit awkward, the video. And so I found that discomfort, and I said, okay, well, is this my personal resistance, or is this resistance to what's happening? And I realized that was my growth edge and space for learning. So I asked, well, how do I want things and who do I want to become? Well, I want to become someone who freely gives and shares with joy, ease, and comfort. And how do I want it? Well, I want it to be easy, right? And I like ease in life. I think a lot of us have struggled enough, and I've worked hard enough, right? I've learned a lot. I've studied really hard. I've worked really hard, right? So I want ease. I want ease. I want ease. And I think going with surrender is what brings us to that ease. So how do I want it? So when I found out that a new evolution happened, I started to get comfortable, right, with the Facebook Lives, and I found it very joyful, and I put polls, and everyone voted on the topic. In fact, this topic was voted on in the poll in the Facebook group. I'm not sure how to pull it off on Facebook or on YouTube if we do a community here like that. I'm not really sure how that works. If you know, please let me know. I would love to offer that and be with that and enjoy that myself. I love community. So I said, okay, well, that's what I like. So I got comfortable and I enjoyed it, and it was easy and it was fun and it was joyful for me. And then Facebook changed their policy, and I started getting these messages saying, oh, well, now I can't watch your replay after 30 days. Well, I didn't know anyone watched the replay after 30 days, but apparently that was happening. So I said, well, I'm getting a message, right? I can do an entire other video on how messages can come. Sometimes we expect to hear the voice of spirit or our guides or whatever in our head, like our own inner dialogue, and that's not always how it comes. So how can we learn to listen to the messages that may even appear external or be coming from the voices of those around us in a way we may not expect? So I heard this several times. I'm upset that they're going to take away the videos, and what do we do? And I said, well, I don't know. So I asked, and I went into meditation, I went into prayer, and then I went in the group and I said, hey, what do you want? How do I serve better? And I was told, well, what about your YouTube channel? Why don't you just go live there? Because then the content's preserved, and then it's more public, but we can still have a private conversation in the community. And I thought, oh, what an interesting idea. It is not the outcome I was attached to. I was attached to a thriving Facebook community, right? But that was where I got to choose to walk my talk always and surrender to the process of change and course correction. So I was hitting this resistance. I received the message, and it was loud and clear. I asked for guidance. I received it in many forums, and I chose to course correct and continue to pursue how I want it to be, which was in sharing and in joy and in ease, while also allowing for the universe to nudge me in another direction and say, well, maybe it's your platform you need to change, or maybe there's something else you need to adjust here in order to better serve. So I'm excited about what this new platform may offer, although I must say, slightly nervous. I'm not sure why, maybe just because of novelty. Sometimes something unfamiliar creates a sensation of nervousness when it's not really nerves, it's just unfamiliarity, and we can interpret that as excitement, right? Every time I get on stage, I always get so nervous, and I tell myself, oh, it's just excitement. It's just excitement. It's the same biophysically, so may just make a choice, right? So I'm choosing excitement. I'm really thrilled. I'm thrilled to share with you. I'm thrilled to be here. So the flow here is between action and passive energy, right? Active and passive, active and passive. So the active energy is making a decision. Okay, well, I'm just going to say, screw it. I'm going to go online. I'm going to share. Maybe it comes out terrible. Who cares? Probably no one will watch it anyway. Great. That takes the pressure off. Awesome. So that's my action energy, and I'm going to take that aligned action. And Release perfectionism, right? And do not be attached to the outcome. I never know what the vote will yield. Sometimes in the poll, someone writes a write-in and I don't see it till, an hour before or moments before the live that the topic is going to be this thing. I have no idea that we were going to be talking about. So I'm not prepared. I usually don't. I challenge myself to be present and in the moment. So that's the combination of surrender to the moment, allow authenticity and authentic expression and openness to be my challenge to myself and also my gift, because it's a gift to me to give myself what I really want, which is to be in sharing, right? And to be in ease. So I'm not going to spend all this time preparing. Sometimes on occasion when it looks like I know what the poll is going to be and it looks like a fun topic to prepare for, I'll do so. But generally speaking, go with the flow, right? So that's the surrender energy. So take action in a way that allows space for change, that allows space for messages, that allows what appears to be a hang up to turn into an inspiration. How do you turn your problem, right, into something that is really going to work for you? Well, I don't know, hope, right? So I have this hope that it's not really what I wanted, it's not what I expected, it's not what I intended, but maybe being on here on YouTube Live is actually the best possible thing for my mission, which is sharing, right? So I'm really excited about that. So be open, right? Be open, be open, be open. So oscillate between taking action, making choices, and allowing for change to push you in another direction, and also be persistent, right? So this also comes with knowing how to receive messages, which if that's a topic you like, let me know and I'll do a video on that. It's a topic that I love to speak on in seminars and stuff. So, and on stage. So it makes me really happy in interviews. I love that topic. And if, and be consistent, take that aligned action, even if it looks like nothing's happening. You never know where that seed is blossoming into. They say that you plant a seed and you never see anything happening because the roots are underneath, but that's what's creating your solid foundation. And then the little leaves will sprout up. So you may not see a leaf sprouting yet, maybe roots are forming. So have patience and be persistent and trust in your vision, especially if you're allowing yourself to find that balance and say, okay, well, how can I be adjusted by what's going on around me while also being persistent in my how and my who, while not being so attached to what's my what, right? So I find that that is the most helpful for me, is to choose that how, choose that who, and don't worry so much about the what. Allow the what to be adjusted, because that is when amazing new synchronicities, opportunities, and course corrections can become available to you. And sometimes they look like problems, but really what they are is opportunities and projects, which is really exciting. They can turn into passion, right, really quickly. So as they say, do things around and find out, right? So do a thing and find out, right? I don't know what the policy on vulgarity is on this channel. Have patience, but also know yourself and trust your vision, trust your own intuition, right? Intuition is a skill set. It's something we can cultivate. It's something I love to teach. And it's something that actually a lot of my clients come into my practice, especially my retreats and ceremonial work, to develop that intuition, because that is a life hack that we have access to. And if you are interested in topics like this, hit follow. I'm not really sure how that works with the lives. And let me know, is it facing the wrong way? Or are we in the right direction? So if you also have some advice for me, I am very open to this new method of expression and this new course correction. So if there's a way to create a community here, I would love to find out more about that. Obviously, we have our comments underneath, but is there a way to, like, I don't know, do a poll so we can vote on what's next? Or is that something that has to happen in the Facebook group? I'm not really sure. But anyway, these chats will always be around the 20-minute mark. So we're coming up on that point. So I wanted to tell you, thank you for being here. And also let me know how you feel. Have you ever been in a position where you've realized it's time to course correct? And what did that feel like for you? What was that like for you? What did it look like? Have you ever had an experience of a profound inspiration? So I'm enjoying that right now as well. I like to be in alignment with whatever the moon's doing, because then I can blame the moon for all my problems, which of course, why wouldn't we if we can? And the energy right now is to get focused, get in alignment, and make choices, and then start taking massive action here in the next, I suppose, week and a half until our next new moon / solar eclipse that's coming up. So there's a lot of cool cosmic energy. I really believe that this time is all about that moment we've been waiting for years, that massive change that can happen on a cultural level, that's absolutely can happen on individual level if we learn to go with the flow, right? Tap in, find out what's happening, make a decision, right? So I've been working on books, and so I've been taking massive action, even when it's not really probably what I'm supposed to be doing. There are other things I should be working on, but I just want to be inspired by the moment. So I'm going to say yes to that inspiration and follow that flow up until the point where I realize I need to pursue something else, right? In order for something else to happen. So that's the receive, then act, receive, then act, receive, then act. And sometimes we may not know what the next step is or what the action step is. Have you ever taken a leap of faith? Tell me about it. I love leaps of faith. I'm currently in another country. Taking a leap of faith, just following whatever appears to come up and receiving the inspiration and taking action, and then following that, and then having my own inspirations and my own wants and who I want to be and how I want my life to look and how I want to show up in the world, and then following that relentlessly, until the ends of its option and possibility, and allowing for course correction to happen along the way. So I'm very excited to share this moment with you. Thank you for being here with me. Find me everywhere at Cat Rambo Medicine Woman. I am Cat Rambo. I am your medicine woman, and I am very happy to be here with you. And let me know how you like this video or how I can improve it so that I fit the format of Facebook Lives. It's very exciting. I'm very excited about all the mistakes that I know I've made and I don't even know what they are yet, so I can course correct, right? So this is all about following the flow. Have you ever had a moment? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had a moment, or maybe join the Facebook group and hop in the conversation? The links are all in the descriptions and stuff. I don't know. About where you feel like you've been in a moment of deep surrender in your life. I'm definitely in a moment where I've decided that for my year, right? I have made a decision at the end of last year, where 2024, where I decided things weren't going the way I wanted them. All right, I threw my hands up. F it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with whatever comes next and see what happens. And so far, it's led me to Chile. So I'm following South America, working on books, etc. So, don't know where that's gonna lead me, but okay. Okay, see what happens. Sometimes we're in moments of our life where we have to make decisions and follow that action relentlessly. So for me, I'm kind of oscillating between both. So it was interesting that this was the topic that was voted on because I'm exactly in this moment right now. So to me, this looks like an inspiration to say yes, to continue with that process, to revisit what that looks like, to continue to refine and make new choices, because refine, right? Life doesn't give us tests. Gives us opportunities to choose again. So I hope that you're making choices that make you happy, and I hope your life is good. And if not, hang around and maybe you'll learn something or find community that helps you enjoy your life in a more fulfilling way. I'm all about change, transformation, fulfillment, and happiness. And why not? We should have everything we want in life. It's our dream. Dream it up, right? So sending lots of love, and hopefully I'll figure out what to do with this video. If you have some suggestions, I'm extremely open about what you want to hear about, how to make the video better, and what comes next. I have no idea. Sending lots of love always. See you soon. How do I close it now? I don't know what to do. Can someone tell me? Maybe